morning. It's RVing by nature. It's currently 3:28 in the morning out here by the road where the trucks come in and check them in. It's almost shift change. Majority of the work trucks that we check in come between 4 to 6. And as far as the semis, we are thankfully not required to stop them, but just to make sure they go slow and wave them on through. I'm here today to talk to you about the pros and cons that we've noticed here at Gate Garden for the first time. We're almost on 2 weeks, and so far it had its ups and downs from the beginning, but now it's mainly steady and we've got a groove. I will start off with a joke. What did one hat say to the other? You stay here and I'll go on ahead. We'll start with the cons. Heat, dust, and humidity. First and the last do not go together. When it's hot and it's humid, it is miserable. Although I can say that after a while we have got used to it, we have found a way to make sure that we're able to cool off and trade with one another during the day when it's the hottest part of the day. And of course we split the night shift based on who has to sleep. Bugs. It hasn't been too big of a problem, especially mosquitoes like we thought it was. But there are several other little gnats and flies that we've used our bug spray for. Another con that we can see is that there is no time that we are able to go out together if we want to even just grocery shop, go out to eat. There's actually a couple casinos that I'm not quite sure if we'd want to go to, but those things are kind of off limits, or they are off limits, so to speak, because someone has to be here 24/7, which leads to my next one. Is this is a 24/7 operation. There is no clock in, clock out. You are on. At least one person has to be on at all times. If you're inside, which we do a lot inside during the day as far as trying to stay cool, we do have an outside tent that we bought, and we haven't got a way to keep it cool yet as far as a cooler fan or a air conditioned type mechanism to keep it cool. We've just been staying inside as much as possible, and that can be rough too though, because sometimes due to the fact that these trucks during the day, they come in completely random. It could be one every 2 minutes, one every minute, one every 30 minutes. So the moment you get relaxed is the moment you're having to get back up, and that's in and out of the camper door, which also leads to the camper losing its cool air. So next can be rough roads. It is not actually too much of a problem here, but it makes me think about it as far as these other locations. I can see where these gravel roads and areas where you're having to park can be quite rough. So that one could be included, but not be included at the same time. You can't drink the water that they provide. It is non-potable, so you do have to buy bottled water, and that's not something that we generally do. But we buy the 40-pack waters from Walmart or Sam's Club, and it's usually about $3 or $4, and it's not too bad actually. But we do drink a lot of water. The first day we got here, we went through 3/4, if not almost all of that 40-pack, just trying to catch up from where we haven't been drinking enough water. So there may be a few more, but that's the main ones that we could think of. So next is the pros, the good stuff. It is very flexible, simple, and straightforward. We can work as much or as little as we want, just as long as we split it between the two. It is simple. It's using an iPad. As long as the iPad app is not down, which we haven't had a problem, then it would be on paper. But the iPad is a simple entry with the driver, the company, and the time, and the license plate in state. But generally, once it's in the system, it stays in the system, and it's a simple plug-in and play. Next, there are no utility costs. The generator is unlimited fuel, as much as we use, as much as we don't. The water is the same, and the sewer is pumped into a tank and then leached out into the field. So that's another pro that we do not have to worry about costs for housing. The view surroundings is almost a paycheck in itself. It's not in the middle of nowhere, so to speak, and it's very nice view with the cornfield in front and the pasture in the back of the camper. It's a short walk to home. It's about 25 feet out to our job and 25 feet back home. We can split our shift any way we want, which I've kind of mentioned at the start there. There is no clock in, clock out. You're basically on when you're on, just as long as one person's on. So there's no clock in. We just turn our invoice in at the end of the week with how much we agreed on for our daily rate, how many days that there is in the week, and sent off to our HR lady, and she takes care of all that. It is this location. Now, this is, of course, our experiences with our first gate, and I recommend before you accept a gate, check out the location as far as what's close by, and we are only 23 minutes away from a Walmart and any major type stores that you may need to shop at. This job and most, I would say all, there may be a few that are hourly rate, but not with the companies that we've checked with. It is set pay. It's a flat rate for the 24/7 hour period per day. So you do know what you're going to make. So if you know that you're going to end up working 30 days, you can just multiply it and you know how much you'll end up making. But with that being said, this is a independent contractor job, so you are in charge of your taxes. But depending on how much you make during the year, it can be in your favor. So if you live below your means, or if you live at a frugal type lifestyle and do not make very much, it can end up not being as big of a headache as most people make it out to be. As long as you're upfront, working with J&G, we were just as upfront as possible that this was our first one, and we weren't sure how long we wanted to work, but we at least wanted to try it for a month. They are more than happy to work with you because they do need people. And ultimately, we do this so we can travel, take time off, and that's one of the biggest benefits is we can save, and not spend a whole lot due to the fact of not having to drive, commute, not having to pay for housing, and there's really not much we can go out and spend for entertainment, which typically we do not spend a whole lot on out entertainment. We actually choose things that do not cost, or just stuff at home that we can stay busy with, whether that's watching videos, reading books, listening to podcasts. But before I talk your ears off, that concludes our pros and cons. Looks like it's going to be a nice, peaceful day today, as it has been since we've got here. The mornings, in my view, are the best. Vanessa, she likes the nighttime, other than that it can be very slow and it's mainly truckers, and like I said before, all we have to do is wave those on and not check them in. So with all that being said, make sure you just take one day at a time. If you're looking into getting gate guarding, make sure you just do your research. Facebook groups, call these companies that offer gate guarding, which a simple Google search, you can find them on. They're in Texas, Louisiana, New Mexico, Colorado, but of course mainly in Texas. But with J&G, it seems like there's a lot in Louisiana opening up. I will try to include at least J&G down below in the description. next time, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video. And I almost forgot, we have 2 new subscribers, so thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy watching, and as we continue to upload these videos, here soon we'll have both of us on a video, and we will introduce ourselves, and I'm assuming that's it. Have a great day.